Alrighty my friends, so here we are for a very expected holiday collection, and I'm talking about a well-regarded brand, and that is Hourglass. So I had about pretty much all the collection, from the ambient lighting edit gauze, also the ambient lighting blush quad. This is a new product for them, also in a gauze version, and also the Hourglass Confession set for the holidays, as well as the Hourglass Scattered Light Eyeshadows. Alright, we are going to go through all of these products. I'm going to be giving comparisons, swatches. We're going to go through the application of all the products. And now, because we're going to have a palette that have 6 different shades, 2 different blushes, and then another palette that have 4 blushes, there's going to be a lot of information to process. So here you go. I invite you to go ahead and grab some water, some tea, some coffee. I invite you to grab your favorite drink, your favorite snack, and sit down with me, because this video may be a little bit long. In order for me to apply all the blushes, I'm gonna have to, remove some of my makeup off camera, obviously, and then come back with you so you can get a better idea of how the blushes look on my skin. Alrighty then, the way that I see Hourglass as a brand, I don't know, I just feel like it is a luxury brand, and I always look forward to what they are gonna come up next. And the reason why is because they are not the typical brand that they are continuously bombarding us with so many products. They're always bringing something unique on their line, well thought out, amazing quality. And with that said, in a luxury brand and in the luxury world, that's the way that I like to see the brand grow, to bring products that they are meant to add value to the brand. So now let's start with the product that I'm sure you are most anxious to know about. And I'm talking about the Ambient Lighting Edit Gauze palette. Now this type of palette is released every year. It is limited edition, and every year they bring something different, with exclusion of 2 to 3 shades that sometimes they are already existing in the line. So this is the Unicard, it's silver. This palette is made in Italy and the cost is $80. So now let's take it out from the box and let me show it to you how it looks on the outside. So it is again silver. The packaging is very reflective. It's basically like having a mirror, but it will make your face look really weird, let me tell you that. And then a lot of people have been some people have been kind of complaining about this part right here. So this part, it is supposed to, this is the gauze collection. So in a design aspect, I understand to have something that will represent the gauze. So a gauze is not completely translucent. Sometimes, the way that it's represented, it has kind of like a smoke, behind the gauze. So I think that's what they wanted it to represent on the packaging. Now, if I like it, to be honest with you, I don't dislike it. It's not my favorite one, because other palettes of them, they have been a little bit more luxurious in terms of the overall packaging, but I understand and appreciate the design, the concept behind it, trying to bring something new. Now, would I have rather see everything silver? Perhaps no. Silver would have been nice, but it wouldn't be any different or anything like, super different. And then I see that they wanted to use something that looks a little bit more foggy, because if they were to do it translucent, even right now you can see the pants on the side, and if it was completely translucent, it may have looked a little bit weird. Now, if they were to use something translucent and then put something silver in the interior, it would have maybe have cost more to make, and that could have been another way to the decision why they decided to do this kind of like acrylic foggy shade. All right, now let's open this up. We get a mirror right here, and then we get 6 different shades. So let me tell you what we got here. The 3 shades on the top, they are existing shades in the line that you can buy them full size as well as mini size. So the 2 powders right here are finishing powders. They are not setting powders, they are just finishing powders. One is dim light, the other one is diffuse light, this right here. And then this right here, it is a strobe powder, which is iridescent strobe light. Basically, it is a highlighter. And now down here we have all of these are new and exclusive shades only of this palette. Now the bronzer, it is Eternal Bronze Light. Then we go to strobe blush. This is an iridescent rose. And then we go to blush, which is Sublime Blush. And this is very particular of Hourglass. They always use adjectives that describe each of the products to be you know, sublime and diffuse in the way that actually makes you understand more the brand, that their products, they are actually not too strong in pigment. They are here to actually create kind of like a photo filter type of effect. That is what the brand goes for. So it's not for those who like heavy makeup. It's actually for something more natural, more light, more like I'm here but I'm not here. And there you go, this is the name Ghost, and I think that represents the brand really well, the name of this limited edition palette. Now each of these shades right here, they come with 0.04 ounces of product or 1.4 grams of product on each of the pans. So this palette costs $80. Now if you go to Sephora's website or Hourglass website, they do carry mini size of their different existing shades. These right here you will not be able to get. These right here, yes, you will be able to get them individually. Now those cost $24 a pan. That means that if you were to buy 6 pans, I mean obviously you will not be able to get these exclusive shades right here. This palette right here will cost you $144 instead of $80. So I think it is a substantial saving right there if you're new to the brand and you want to try a palette that has pretty much everything. And then what I find really helpful that they always include with these palettes, it is this little graphic right here. So it tells you a little bit more about each of the powders and also placement on the face. This kind of like gives you a little idea of how to, you know, make the most use out of your palette. And something that I want to mention about the ingredients of the palette, it is that is paraben free, is talc free, it doesn't have any nanoparticles in it, it is also fragrance free. So I am really happy to get to know that the brand is very clean as well. And now the full collection, it is available at Hourglass website, also at their stores, and then it will become available to their retailers on September 27th. And now I'm really dying to try all these products, so let me just get you closer. So I'm so ready to dive into this palette. First, I'm going to start with this shade right here, which is Diffuse Light, the one in the middle. And that shade right there, it will actually help to brightening up certain areas. The areas that I like to brighten it up is my under eye. So I already have my foundation on and I actually using the Hourglass Veil. Now the Veil, it is actually a setting powder and is translucent. So it is different from the finishing powders. The finishing powders, it will just diffuse, it will give you this filter effect. And I'm going to be using my Sonia G Inoshige Pro Brush to do this. So first, I'm just going to apply right there and it immediately brightens up this area right here. Now for my forehead, my temple, my cheeks, and my nose, I'm going to be using this shade right here, which it is Dim Light. Now I know some people will be like, oh, you know, I cannot dig in my brush on these palettes right here. I don't see it like a big of a deal, to be honest with you. I mean, obviously, for example, I have my Tom Ford brush right here. This is huge. I mean, it will fit on the pan, but it will contaminate my other powders. Let's see, another brush that I love to use is my Sonia G Face Pro. These can be actually moved around. So I don't see a big problem about it. I think we can adjust, you know, when we like a product. Now I'm going to be using my Refer number 05 brush, and right here. I think it's important to mention too, I do have a light to medium skin tones for those who are new here. Welcome to my channel. So this bronzer is working really well at warming up my face, but it will definitely do not give me kind of like a contour effect or anything like that. Now we have two blushes right here. I'm gonna go first with this blush over here, and I'm gonna be using my Lancome brush. This is a brush that I love for my blush. So this is a very nice rosy tone. It shows quite a bit actually. It does show. And now let's go with the shade Sublime Blush. And I'm going to be using my Refer 04 brush. And look at that. This is kind of like a bubble pink. Okay, my friends, so here you go. There is the difference between one blush and the other blush. This blush right here, it is definitely more rosy. And this right here has that mix in between of like a bubblegum pink with a little bit of coral shade. And that's one of the things that I really enjoy about Hourglass. They do have on their blushes and bronzers a combination of like two colors, and that's what it makes it marble. Their shades, and they combine a little bit of, say, like their finishing powders within their blushes and bronzers, so it gives again that effect that is very natural. And now let's go into the highlighter in the pan. So the highlighter is this iridescent strobe light, and this is an existing shade. I'm going to be using my Refer brush in the number P09A. And there you go. You see that glass skin like that it gives? Now this highlighter right here has a pink undertone. Alrighty, my friends, and now we are done testing all of these products right here. But before I go and wash my face to try the other products, let me give you swatches. Now I had it to build up the shades Dim Light, Diffuse Light, the Iridescent Strobe Light, as well as the Bronze Light, because otherwise it wouldn't show completely on these swatches. And now I'm giving it a thought about it, and I think I want to apply one of the Hourglass Scattered Light Glitter Eyeshadows. Now, if you know me, you know that I don't like glitter shadows, and I never pick up a product of glitter from Hourglass because it's just not my thing. But for the purpose of this video and just to bring you what is new on this holiday collection, I pick it up. So this product right here, it is the only product on this collection that is actually made in Korea. All the rest are made in Italy. And this set cost me $46. It comes with 3 mini glitter shadows. So they are not the full size. The full size, they cost $29 each. And now this set right here comes with 2 existing shades, and then the MOLTEN shade is a new shade, and it's kind of like a purpley magenta tone. Now going back on the price, each of these pops right here, they come with 0.07 ounces or 2 grams of product. Now the regular size, the one that costs $29, comes with 0.12 ounces. So these ones right here are about half the size of the big ones, but again, the big ones are $29 and you are paying $46 for 3 different shades. And I mean, I don't think you will go fast with these shades, so I think out of the entire collection, this may be the item that has the best value for your money. Now when you open it up, this is the packaging, so cohesive with that entire collection with that silver. And then this has a little top. This top, you keep it, don't toss it away because the eyeshadow will dry, and this is just to protect, kind of like an airtight effect. And this shade right here, it is foil. So I think I'm going to be using this shade to begin with. You have a base and you may not need to use a glitter glue. Now the other existing shade, it is Ray. Now foil, it is definitely more of a golden shade, while this shade right here, Ray, it is a little bit more of a taupey bronze shade. And now the last shade, the one exclusive to this collection, it is MOLTEN, and it's more of like a purpley mulberry type of shade. The MOLTEN one is not as shiny and reflective as the other ones. Okay, so what I'm gonna do right now to create a base on my eyes is I'm gonna be using my Sonia G Blender Pro brush, and I'm just gonna dip into the bronzer shade in the palette. And I'm just gonna, again, just use it as a base. And you can do this trick right here with any bronzer. So if you're traveling and you forgot, you know, to bring eyeshadow, or you just want to take one pop of shadow, you can also use your bronzer. And I think this also gives you the opportunity to see how deep is the bronzer in the palette. Okay, I'm gonna go with the shade Foil, and I'm gonna be using my Sonia G Builder Pro Brush. And you can apply these type of glitter eyeshadows also with your fingers. I mean, you don't have to do it with a brush. So let me do the application with my finger on this side. The finger, obviously you will get a better payoff. You can also press it onto your eyelid, and I don't see any fallout on my face. So I think it has a really nice base, and more than glittery, it looks like a foil type of eyeshadow. And now that I have you closer, I'm gonna go ahead and try the Hourglass Confession Refillable Lipstick Duo Ghost. Now the collection comes with 2 sets. I decided to get the set I Cherish because the other set looked a little bit too red tone for me, and I know that will be perfect for the holidays, but it will not be something that I will get use out of it, or much use out of it. So this pack right here comes with the shade I Cherish and You Inspire. Basically, I Cherish is kind of like a cool pinky nude, and then the shade You Inspire is more of a deep mulberry tone. Now, each of these sets cost $36. They are made in Italy. They come with 0.03 ounces of product per each of your tubes right here, and I think this is a good value for your money as well, because if you were to buy one of the Confession lipsticks in single, that costs $22 each, so it is a little bit more expensive right there. And this is kind of like, you know, like you try, you get a refillable. Obviously the amount of product that you get inside is not a lot. Another thing to point out right here about ingredients: these lipsticks, they don't have any sulfates, phthalates. They are also GMO free, and as far as finish, they have more of like a satin finish. So this is the first time that I buy a Confession lipstick from the brand, and actually the regular package, it is funny, I do have a pen. This is my pen, but it looks kind of like my pen. Look at that. I know. So the regular type, I mean, again, this is my pen, but it looks kind of like this. It's golden. So now for the Ghost one, they decided to do it in silver. Now the top right here, the cover, it is plastic, that translucent plastic, and I know this is part of the design, but I think I will have rather prefer to have a top that it was silver. Okay, so let's start with the shade I Cherish. And this one right here is supposed to be a cool pink nude shade, and this is perfect for me, right up on my alley. So say if you want to change it, you just need to unlock it, take it out, and then you put the other one. Now the other one, the refillable, has the little cap on the bottom, and then you can just put it in like that. And this is the shade You Inspire. So I'm gonna go with the shade I Cherish first. Glides on super nice, and yes, it is a pinky nude. Okay, and now that I'm done here, I'm gonna go ahead, wash my face, and then we're gonna come back so we can play with the Blush Quad palette. To jump into the Ambient Lighting Blush Quad Ghost. So here it is, the Unicard. This product has been made in Italy. It's good for 12 months. It is also cruelty-free, salt-free, paraben-free, fragrance-free, nanoparticles-free. I mean, free of so many things. I think we know all of that. The cost of this palette, it is $58, which I think it is a great price. And let me show you the palette itself and why I think it is a great price. Going with the same style, this has that same silver, very reflective outer packaging, and then the acrylic frosted surrounding it, just to give it that ghost vibe. And let me just open it up, and I think this is such a beautiful blush palette. So the only blush that is existing already in the line is this shade right here, and it's called Strobe Blush Brilliant Nude. The other 3 shades, they are actually exclusive to this limited edition palette. Blush Surreal Effect, Stroke Blush Lucid Glow in Infinite Flash. Now, why I think that this palette, it is a good pricing, because this is again another mini palettes all put into this quad. If you were to buy each of these palettes individually, it will cost you again $24 a piece, and that will make this palette $96. So to get it for $58, I think is a good value. Also because, I mean, particularly me, even before I started my YouTube channel and I started reviewing products, I didn't went through blushes a lot. I mean, I used an itsy tiny little amount of blush product, so it lasts me a long time. It's kind of the same thing as the highlighter, so I see the value of this palette right here. Okay, now let's go into this nude blush right here. Okay, this blush right here is not showing much on my skin. It's actually just giving me a little bit of like radiance and shimmer. It feels a little bit more like a highlighter actually instead of a blush, which is not supposed to be like that, but that's on my skin tone. But that being said, and because it's not showing at all, let me just go ahead and use over top this shade right here. Now that has a lot of pigmentation, you can see right there. And this shade right here also has that pinky tone with a little bit of like orange. Now I'm gonna go to this shade right here, which is a Stroke Blush Lucid Glow. I'm gonna use it on the other side. I like this shade. It's actually a little bit more neutral, which makes it like very wearable. And now, because I'm very curious to see if on my skin tone, this shade right here could be a little bit more of like a highlighter. Oh yeah. You see that? It gives kind of like a highlighted effect, but it's not like super like too much on your face. Let me put some bronzer right here on my eyelids again. So I'm taking just the same bronzer from this palette. Now when I use this glitter eyeshadow in the shade Ray, it doesn't have too much of a base. It has, I feel the grittiness of the glitter more than the other shade that I tried before. So if you have sensitive eyes, I mean, this could be a little bit of a turn down for some people, but I'm not having any fallout, which that's good. That means that the base is a really good base, so it will stay put on. All right, my friends, and now one more time, I'm gonna go ahead and wash my face, wipe it all off, and we're gonna come back to do my actual final look, the shades that I really wanted it to try on my face today. And I have gone ahead and put some of the bronzer right here of this palette. I also use a little bit of this finishing powder right here on my under eyes, just like we did at the beginning, and then this powder right here, I use it pretty much all over the face, and that's it. All right, so then I think we still have one more blush to try from this palette right here, and this is this blush right here, and I think this blush will be perfect for the eye look that I want to go for. And I have this beautiful mauvey tone, berry tone. It looks so pretty. Just put some, oh yeah, this is my type of blush. I love it, and it has a little bit of a radiance to it too. You can see it there. Usually I put some blush on top of my nose. I know not everybody does it, but I think it looks good. Okay, and then I'm just gonna powder this way. You can also use some blush on your forehead. So we are done with this palette right here, but before I continue with the rest of my face, I want to give you swatches of this palette. And now I may have to build up the swatches. The powders are usually very soft, so they are not meant to have a lot of pigment. You see how this shade, the one that is existing in the line, has that kind of shine to it. So here are the swatches. Like I did before, I'm gonna be using my brush right here. I'm gonna apply a little bit of the bronzer as my base. And on my lower lash line, I'm gonna be using the same bronzer. Pack the bronzer a little more on my outer corners to give a little bit more dimension. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into the blush palette, and I'm going to be using this shade right here at the bottom. Apply it on my eyelid and on my crease. And this shade right here has that mauvey tone, cooler tone to it. And then that same shade, I'm going to go ahead and use it for my lower lash line. And now let's go into that Scattered Light Glitter Eyeshadow in Molten. And this is that special shade for this collection. Now, what I noticed from this eyeshadow, it is that it doesn't have such a strong base as the other ones. The first that I tried, Foil, it had a strong gold base. Then Ray had mostly glitter in it. And this one right here, it is a very soft base with very little glitter. Now I'm going to apply it with my finger. So you can see the payoff. And now I had applied mascara and also just some black eyeliner on my waterline. Let's go back to this palette right here. And I think I want to use on my inner corner the highlighter, this shade right here, because it has a little bit of that cool pink tone to it. And then I'm going to use it also on my brow bone. And now let's go into the same highlighter. Ready. And now into this beautiful shade, You Inspire. Okay, my friends, and this is my last look for today. Okay, my friends, and now let's go into a little bit of comparisons. This palette right here, this was the Unlock palette from last year. And as you can see, if I put them side by side, you can tell that there's no much of things alike between them. Actually, this palette right here is more geared for those who have a little bit more of a medium tan and deeper skin tones, but this was actually perfect for me. In fact, I also bought the Volume 4 palette last year and I had to return it because it was just not enough for me. It just wasn't impactful. The blushes were so-so, but the bronzer was a big no-no for me. Swatch right here, the bronzer from the Ghost palette, and here it is the bronzer from the Unlock palette. Now, as far as the blushes go, they are completely different. In this palette right here, we're talking a little bit more of that bubblegum pink and then another pink coral shade, while this one right here is more into the mauvey tones. So I think there's no actual similarities right there. And now if we go into the highlighter shade, so let me show you right here. This is from the Ghost palette. So it's this pinky tone, and then here it is the one from the Unlock. Unlock, it has a lot more, it's more potent, it's more there on your face. Then as far as the two other shades go, that goes right here, the dim light and the diffuse light, those are different from what you get here on the Unlock palette. This palette, once again, they are very different. The only shades that I could think of, it is if we go with the Unlock palette right here, I have the two blushes. So again, this is Unlock and again Unlock. And I'm gonna swatch this shade right here, which is Infinite Flush from the Ghost blush palette. And after actually searching online for other palettes from Hourglass, I didn't really see much of a other shades alike to the new Ghost palette. They seem to be all different, and the brand actually states that at least these three shades right here are unique to this palette. These shades right here are existing, so if there is a repetitive shade, I really doubt about it, there must be a little bit of a difference because all of these palettes right here has been limited edition and therefore, you know, they are not coming back in the line. Okay, my friends, and now I'm ready to give you my final thoughts. So let's start first with the Ambient Lighting Edit Ghost palette, this palette right here. So overall, I really enjoy the palette. I like it. Now, is it worth it to add it to my collection? Well, maybe it's not the most wise decision because I do own 2 of these shades right here and only 4 of them are the ones that I do not own. So it cost me $80. Basically, I ended up paying $20 a pop for these. I mean, less than the $24 that I would have paid if I, you know, went to buy them in singles. So this is the thing that you have to think about if you are a collector. If you're a collector, most likely you may have at least these 2 shades. Perhaps you have this shade right here, and these shades are unique to this palette. So you have to balance things out, whether you really want to, you know, if you're a collector, I'm sure you may want to add this into your collection. But if you are not, and if you're in the other side of the spectrum and this is maybe the first palette of yours, I will say, you know, it is a great palette. I did purchase the volume 4 last year, the one that came in the pink metallic packaging, and the reason I returned it was because the bronzer. I do have a light to medium skin tone, and that bronzer, it was glowy, but it wouldn't give me any type of bronze effect to my face. It was just way too light. This one right here, on the other hand, is a little bit more matte. It's not as glowy as the other one, and it has a little bit more pigment. Now, this palette right here will be perfect for those who have light to medium skin tones. I think that would be ideal for those people. Also, for people that have medium to tan skin tone, I think that it will work really good. It just have a lot more pigmentation. I think it is best. Even the blushes, they are not, I mean, they are a little bit more popping. And now, as far as the highlighter right here, I'm not very fond of that highlighter. I know it must be a really good seller for Hourglass, but I don't know, I just don't like too much the pink undertone. Now, my only consideration right here, it is that why they haven't put out 2 palettes like they did last year. I mean, I remember last year they first did the edit, and I think they came out with a volume 4. So they cater for those who had lighter, you know, complexions, and then for those friends that they have deeper complexions. And I think it would have been really nice if they could have actually released 2 palettes, one for light to medium skin tones, this one right here, and then another one for those who have deeper skin tones, but at the same time, so the importance feels the same, you know, all the way around to everybody. And because they have a really good market, I mean, people, they really want to try their products. Now, I understand that each brand, if they release something and they target something on and on, they do a market study. So if they know that their market, it is, you know, a certain criteria, that's why we see so many eyeshadow palettes, they all into the neutral tones all the time. And, you know, for those who we are makeup collectors, we think, oh, no, this is just, you know, too much for us, like it is the same all over again. But there is a market for that, so why they are going to stop it? If they will sell it, why to stop it? But what I'm saying right here, it is inclusivity. So if they did it last year, hopefully they do it this year too. Now, I have heard and read that the actual this palette right here, the Unlock one, is gonna come back. In a way, I'm happy if it will come back, because again, it caters for those with deeper complexions, but I will actually rather see a new one that is for darker complexions again, but a new one, something different. So that way, I mean, I would love to get it. I have a light to medium skin tone, and this palette has worked wonders for me. I have taken traveling so many times. It is my favorite face palette in all my collection, because I can take it, and with these I can do it all. Now, going into the blush palette, I think it is a great idea for them to, you know, come out with this blush palette. It is a beautiful palette, and I found a way that although this shade right here didn't work on my complexion, it has a radiance, so you can actually even use it all over your face and it will give you kind of like a radiant look. If you have like light to medium skin tone, medium to tan skin tone, you can do that. But it worked for me as a highlighter, and I mean, like, I can use it again right here. Hopefully the camera will show. And I'm just topping it off, and you see right there. And now, as far as the Scattered Light Eyeshadows goes, this is the first time that I'm using them, and I'm a little bit fascinated about it because I don't like glitter, but I didn't find them to be too glittery. The ones that I like the most is foil, because it has these very beautiful gold shade right here that is super wearable, and I actually didn't feel like I need any glitter glue with it, so I enjoy it. And then the other one is the one that I'm wearing right now, is the MOLTEN one. This is very pretty as well. Although these are not full size, I think you're not gonna go through these shades, so I think the pricing is right. I think actually it is a good value, and then you get to try these shadows just as I did. Now, the one that I like the least is Ray, and the reason why is because how textured it was, how much glitter it had. I mean, like, it's really nice if you use it kind of like a topper, but you know, I don't think it's my preference because I felt that it was glittery. It gave me that glitter effect. I didn't find any fallout. This one right here is the one that have the least base, and this one right here doesn't have much glitter. The MOLTEN one, it doesn't have much glitter at all, and it's a little bit more opaque. It's not as vibrant as the foil gold shade. Now let's go last to the lipsticks. I really like how comfortable they are. They go fully opaque. They are satin. No application of these. Although I really love this thing because it looks like so sexy, you know, like que bonita chica. It looks pretty, but for these dark deep shades right here, it's gonna be a little bit hard to apply on your lips. I mean, I found it a little bit hard. Obviously I needed it to go with a lip liner, and I decided not to use a lip liner, and the reason I didn't is because I wanted just to show you how it looks, the lipstick on my lips, and that's why I did it this way. So I found that like the tip, I mean, it will take me some kind of adjustment to actually get used to this type of applicator. That's that. But then the other shade, the cool pink nude shade, I think that is beautiful. That's my favorite out of the two, and again, I think it is a great value to try two different shades and to try the formula. Now, as far as the packaging go, this looks beautiful. Now when you put this on top, it goes I mean, they could have done a little bit better right here. I understand again the concept and I appreciate it. Again, it just, if you're going with a packaging like this that is sleek and, you know, just like so chic, don't go so cheap. And I'm not saying that they are cheap because I know it costs them the money, you know, and there's a design behind it, but something a little better, something that they could have give it a thought, or just go all silver and it would have been fine with everybody. I think everybody would have been a little bit more happy on that spectrum. So I think that's the only packaging situation that I see right there. Okay, my friends, I hope you really found this review helpful. I think that these reviews, you have to take it, you know, they are here for you to actually make a wise decision on your purchase. So hopefully this video, I know it was long, I hope it really serves you to make that wise decision whether you need these palettes or not, what to add on your collection or not. Now, I don't want to put any pressure right here, but these are limited edition palettes, and Hourglass are pretty much one of those brands that when they say that they are coming with a limited edition item, they usually don't bring it back, and that's why I'm a little bit like, are they going to bring this back? It will be something out of the norm for Hourglass to bring something back, but if they do, I mean, good for them. But talking about that, knowing that the Ghost palette is a limited edition palette, if you really want it, I will suggest then to make, you know, your wise consideration after watching this video and other videos from other fellow creators. I also want to remind you, my friends, that I'm running a giveaway of the Metropolis palette by Natasha Denona. If you want to enter in, please go check my video where I review the Metropolis palette, and you will find all the details of how to enter that giveaway. Alright my friends, if you haven't done so yet, please consider right here on this screen down below. You will see it says subscribe. Just tap on there, subscribe to my channel, give me that opportunity. I would love for you to be part of my family. Also, do not forget to hit that post notification bell, because that's the only way YouTube will let you know whenever I upload new videos. Also, it will be lovely for you to follow me on my Instagram. I actually post a lot of pictures of the products that I review here, swatches, ingredients, etc. So it will be nice to see you there as well. Thank you so much again for the opportunity, for being here, for your time. Until the next time, I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful day. Bye-bye.